In 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody!
I'm Adam.
I'm Sir.
And I'm Will.
And we are Working Title!
Whispers in the wind, whatever they're called.
Secret whispers. Whipping that whisper.
Weeping willows?
Guys, we're back. It's The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 8, Chapter 24, The Return of the Din Djarin.
No, The Return, The Mandalorian. Disney.
Guys, last on, epic adventure, lots of Beskar with the enemy. Gus has showed up.
Gus.
In his new suit, and Paz is dead. So make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, leave a comment down below, not just your thoughts on the overall series, but specifically this finale as well.
This season
as a whole. Stay for the post talk so you can hear your boys give our takes and our thoughts, see if they match up to yours, give us some critiques or your own opinions, and we love ya. Punch it!
Whoa.
We're just jumping into it.
No time like the present.
Gideon is alive. He's gathered his forces and he's using our homeworld as his base.
Dang!
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
It's like you can't shoot him.
Oh, that was cool. Rip. Where's the child?
With her.
No, that's what Moff's gonna say. Where's the child? Or I guess he doesn't even need him. He has the blood.
Nice!
Wouldn't that hurt his head too? They're both Beskar.
Oh! Yep, he did.
Oh my god! Oh boy. Oh! Damn.
Oh.
His one weakness, rope.
Rope.
Oh! Wait!
Oh!
Why did Grogu come with him?
That's not how it works.
I'm a
Healing spray. Healing spray.
It's like Iron Man to Jarvis. Ah!
I love that.
I love that. You seen the TikTok? I'm going to Taco Bell to get a box.
I have not.
You haven't? Oh my god, that's fucking hilarious.
I'm about to go to Taco Bell and get me a box. Blast.
But the Mandalorian has escaped.
Whoa.
It's a little green dot behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we engage? No. I'll take care of him.
Damn, wow.
That sounds a lot like Kylo's.
Yeah, it does.
R5. Come in, R5.
This little bastard.
His little side task. Beat the droid mouse.
Good job checking your corners.
He just pops out. See ya!
Yeah.
I see ya!
Watch the Piccolo. Load the gauntlets and send all available troops down as reinforcements.
Do they have ships inside that?
Probably.
All available troopers go down.
Wow, I did not know it could be up that high.
I know, right? That's crazy. It's cool to see that.
Nice.
Oh gosh! What happens if the gas runs out in space, man? You need a backup to the backup.
This is the way.
That ain't my way.
TIE Fighters coming up.
Oh,
And the bombers.
that was actually pretty cool.
Damn.
Why did he decide to man the whole thing on his own?
Rip.
That thing's dumb.
Oh, wait.
One at a time.
Oh, I thought they were just armor.
That's smart. Problem is they're getting ready increasingly.
Nice.
Take that shield. Oh! Almost got the gun. Almost got it.
He lost the gun and the knife.
Take a shield. Take the shield.
Next shield.
Oh,
Shit.
riot gear.
Oh!
Nice.
Yeah!
Oh, what does that do to you?
I don't know.
It's a great
Oh, he's still alive.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I love that.
Nice. Oh, goodbye.
Electric Club.
Next shield.
it's got the fucking shield. Let's go.
Oh,
Oh, so it's just a force field.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
this is great.
Got the blicky.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it knows. It knows.
Gotcha, bitch.
Hey!
That's a cop. Zapping.
Yeah. Yeah.
That cool shit.
Yeah. Oh. Nice. Wow, what weapon is that? That it just goes right through the Beskar.
Good job, buddy.
He may have shot in the neck.
Okay.
Doesn't make an angle.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
They came with an army.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha,
You can fly.
bitch.
Put your hands on
Bully him! Bully him!
Right. Let's say you can fly, dude.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
Damn, the one.
Oh,
He knocked one off.
damn it.
Oh, that's Grogu.
Why is that so creepy?
Yeah, that was very creepy.
It's very like Slender Man-esque.
Yeah. Oh. Oh my gosh,
Those
those are all
Moff
Gideons.
Oh, they are?
That's
Wow.
what it looks like.
Well, he's here forever. He's here to stay.
That's not good.
Right here.
It's not going in focus back there. I wanted to see.
But what if they all come out and they're naked and start to attack Grogu? He'll be scarred for life.
Those are his clones.
Wow.
Eyes open.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Are they force sensitive?
Oh
Could be.
gosh, dude. Does that even mean, what if the one tonight isn't even like the one?
Original.
So if we kill him, it might not mean nothing.
Those were the backups of my backups. Din Djarin.
Lady Creed, the reinforcements have arrived. Let's take back our planet.
Alright.
Yo.
Those things actually run on fuel, or is it just like, just has it?
I think it's a fuel thing.
They run on pure plot.
True.
Down two, let's go.
Hell yeah, man. Damn, it's nice to see her finally doing shit.
Yeah.
Nice! Alright.
Oh! It's about to go crazy.
To slice somebody straight through. Some really cool shots right now, look at that.
Oh my god, yes.
Wow.
Oh!
Nice. Oh, that's beautiful.
Okay.
Gosh.
It looks so cool. Nice. Oh my god.
Every
that
time,
scared me
it scares
again.
the hell out.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's behind you.
Watch Moff have a lightsaber.
Yeah.
My clones! We're finally going to be perfect.
Oh shit.
The best parts of me. But improved by adding the one thing I never had.
The Force.
The Force.
Woo!
Let's go.
Boss fight.
Oh.
Damn. Sounds like he's got some like robotic.
Yeah.
To help him out fight. He's an older dude.
Yeah.
damn,
these
dude.
bastards. Oh, come on.
Listen, there ain't no way Din should be doing fair against them.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, look at that in the background, too.
Grogu. Charge him!
What is he?
Oh, it's an actual blade.
He can force push him.
No! No way.
They're gonna do that to us? Wow.
What?
Gosh, that's so awesome.
Oh my gosh, she's like 4. Kratos.
Whoa, 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 wow.
Oh,
Oh, at the knees.
some really
Oh,
nice
her
shots.
knees?
Yeah.
This music is very, very fucking scary. Get out of there, kid.
Yeah.
It's the most Grogu has ever moved.
Is he laughing?
Yes. Oh!
Oh, his wrist.
Could hear that crunch.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's gonna fight
I've
him?
got this. Go save your kid.
Right.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Do you have one to hit his grip?
Told you. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, at least he doesn't back down, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a thing.
Like last season?
Yeah.
Whoa. It's best cartoon.
Damn, he is throwing her.
Yeah. Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Yeah.
Grogu?
Good.
That's what I'm talking
Good
about.
save. Nice.
Well, hey, at least Din's putting like a hell of a workout into this. It's not easy at all.
Nice.
Oh, okay, he's dead. For sure.
Oh!
Got him. All 3.
That's not
Oh,
good.
man.
Well, Axe, whatever your name is, salute to you.
Hopefully he gets out of that thing.
Mom, Koska, come in. I'm coming in hot. Clear everyone out. I'm gonna take down the base.
Clear an area.
Oh, she just got it in the neck.
In the neck.
You gotta run. Damn!
Oh.
What?
It's fucking good.
The Darksaber is gone. You've lost everything.
You blow. Come on, man.
Mandalorians are weak once they lose their trinkets.
What about you? You're filled with trinkets.
Exactly.
They're stronger together.
They just sneak up behind him and push him off the edge, dude. He doesn't
He's got
have a
jetpack.
jetpack.
He does. He's got everything they have.
Bro, this thing is going like straight down.
Yeah. He said he was aiming for the base.
Nice, okay, good.
Oh!
Nice, thank you. Push him into it! Whoa, he just did a slide!
Yeah.
Grogu just jump, what is it, slide
Nice.
canceled.
I was gonna say, yeah, he has to take a shot at Grogu.
Get him off the thing!
Oh!
He's probably fine.
I know. God damn it.
Of all things. Explosion,
Yeah.
but he has the most powerful suit.
Yes! Let's go, Grogu.
Mom and Dad and Grogu.
Yeah, bring it back from
Wow,
season
dude.
1.
That's so cool.
And Bad Rebels. Let's go. Little baby Grogu. That's sick, man. Wow, man. I mean, that ain't just a flamethrower, too. That's a whole ass ship exploding. Yeah.
I'm hooked.
Get a snack.
Where? He had to survive that. There's no way. Unless he
jumped
really
off the
got
edge.
eviscerated into nothing. Oh, look.
Dome.
It's the actual city.
The Mythazar.
Right. I forgot about it.
Yep.
I want to see it so bad.
Are they gonna bathe Grogu?
Grogu's gonna be like, alright, she says the phrase, he's like, "Rawr."
Yeah.
They're doing all the child baptisms.
He is too young to speak, so he is too young to take the creed.
Is he gonna talk?
If his parent gave permission, then I will adopt him as
wow.
my own.
I mean, that's what we've already been there, but
Right.
make it official.
Even though I've already felt like that was a thing, it's
Right,
still
exactly.
it's nice to hear it out loud.
Now, Din Grogu.
Damn Grogu.
So weird.
Din's his last name?
Oh, I guess yeah.
Need Mandalorian.
Why? It shouldn't be Grogu Jaren.
That's what I'm saying. His last name is Din.
Why'd you say Din Grogu?
Because that's his last name. Maybe they got some, like, backwards name thing going
Oh boy.
on. Is he gonna
Ooh.
summon it to the surface?
Yeah. If anyone was.
Holy fuck.
Okay. Well, give it time, I suppose. Wow.
Forges of Erebor. Dude, the fucking Darksaber, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Not much we can do.
It's like a haka.
For Mandalore!
Fucking love hakas, they're so cool.
We need Boba Fett for that.
Yeah.
You want to work for the New Republic?
As a freelancer,
On
yes.
a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
An independent contractor.
Yeah, a vendor.
You know, this is against regulation. It'll never get approved.
The fuck
Which is why you won't tell them.
Yep.
Let me think about it.
You already did. Deal and you know it.
I'm gonna give you this deed to a cabin just outside of town. You can lay low with your new family if you choose so.
Dude's getting his campaign, like, exposition.
Thank you.
He got the Hearthhome DLC.
Yeah, he's getting the resolution, everything. Everything's wrapping up.
And that goes for you too, Din Grogu.
I don't like it.
For you
I like
as
at
well.
least Grogu, Jaren, a little bit more. These guys. Hug him. Go hug him quick.
Oh, they make a new one?
Yeah.
Greetings, citizens. I am IG-11, your new marshal of Navarre.
Okay.
I am here to serve and protect the citizenry.
That's me. I say
I am
this.
at your disposal and serve at your pleasure.
Nice.
Wow. That looks like Obi-Wan's home.
It's peaceful.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's kicked up.
Have fun. Yeah, wow, you also have frogs here.
The one-eyed frogs that he loves.
Ugh. Ain't no way, just gonna end. Damn it, dude. Oh.
Oh my god.
That couldn't have been any more of a bookend than it
Yeah.
possibly was. Y'all, that was there any credits?
No.
Nope.
Damn.
Unfortunately.
Well, that was a season 3 wrap. A pretty damn good finale.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it stayed with our group.
Mm-hmm.
No crazy cameos.
Yeah.
No like big game-changing reveal. I did expect that, I will say.
Right.
I told these guys that I had seen some little excerpts from Filoni and Favreau kind of hyping this up, and I was like, I mean, I don't think it'll top in terms of spectacle a Luke per se.
Yeah,
But if you've ever listened to I can speak for myself, my specific opinion on that finale. That moment's amazing. That finale is not my favorite finale.
Yeah.
I think this was a better finale.
Yeah, it was a better end to this season as a whole.
Right.
Because it focused on all of our characters. It gave them all moments, and finally a neat bow on the end of the whole Moff Gideon.
Right.
Hopefully, neat bow. Got him. Got him.
And then it didn't there's a lot of things up in the air. Nothing's complete, nothing's concrete. We could still get a Mandalorian war against the Empire once again if we really want to go that route and get a bigger scale. I think this was good for the Mandalorian size show.
Yeah.
We do know that there's that movie on the way, so when that day comes, go ahead.
What is it called?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
There's no name yet. It's just
it wasn't announced.
The Filoni movie.
It wasn't announced at the celebration.
It was announced, but they didn't give it a name.
Yeah.
They basically said that it's going to be the ultimate ending of the Mandalorian-verse.
So,
which is Ahsoka, Boba Fett, and the Mandalorian.
Oh, Ahsoka too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. I mean, that's what I mean. I think the movie will handle the bigger stuff, the Star Wars sized war, where this is just a battle, a skirmish. I would say against what we have right now, the resources of Moff Gideon, and then the resources of Din Djarin and company, Bo-Katan and company. So.
And the battle for Mandalore itself, the planet.
Sure.
So,
yeah. Wait, so was this the last season?
No.
Okay.
Supposedly, they're making another season.
Yeah.
But I would imagine. I feel like they said that the movie would come out by 2027 or something or within the next 3 years or so. So.
Well, it took 3 years for this to be made.
Yeah.
And to come out.
And this is also the problem of things nowadays. I'd say it's a lot more loose as to what is possible or what will happen next. There's nothing concrete. For sure, I would expect the Mandalorian season 4. I don't know if they've said there's going to be a Mandalorian. And there's a lot of things up in the air too. I've seen posts saying from Pedro Pascal saying I'm going to be doing this till I die, which is a hell of a one stance.
Yeah.
And then I've heard things saying that the Mandalorian show in the future
is going to have multiple protagonists going forward. It's not necessarily just Din Djarin. Which, I mean, in fairness, how the way they ended this episode, you could see where it could be the Bo-Katan story and the Din and Grogu story.
I mean, they pretty much wrapped up his
his story was Moff.
He's back to hunting now.
Yeah.
He's back to where we picked up with him, and now he has a home and a child and a little family unit, and he's attached to a something greater than himself, something far bigger than him and his little cult that he was a part of. There's a bigger purpose in his life.
Yeah.
Several big purposes in his life. So I would say that's good.
I'm wondering how this show will do because of that. Because we have said throughout this entire series that Grogu is the attention getter, of this whole series. So I'm very curious to see of those who aren't huge Star Wars fans who chimed in just to see a little cute Grogu. Kids will definitely be into this, but I'm sure there were kids who were just in it for Grogu.
Right.
And I'm just curious, what the numbers will look like for this show if he's not in it next season. If. I mean, I feel like the way that they were phrasing it, the way that this ended, is that they'll still be in it. It's just not going to be
him.
It might be like a Game of Thrones type of situation where it's
stories.
there's going to be multiple stories. I mean, I don't understand why you would announce that there's going to be multiple protagonists going forward and not because they said Din is not going to be the only protagonist, and because their stories are now separate, that means they're going to be doing other things as well.
Honestly, this is a pretty good end off if this is the last Mandalorian thing we see before the movie, because we don't know. We don't know if we'll see a season 4 before the movie.
We don't actually know.
This might be the very last thing we see
Right.
before that movie shows up. All we know is the Ahsoka thing's next. That'll be in the fall.
Which looks awesome.
And then the movie, which hasn't even been... The production supposedly hasn't even been started.
No,
Yeah.
they haven't even worked on it yet.
And Kathleen Kennedy has like talked about this before because they announced movies a long time ago during The Last Jedi, movies that were supposed to come out by the Game of Thrones guys and by other people. I think the people who helped with like Lost. And that all went to crap when The Last Jedi didn't do well and Game of Thrones did a Game of Thrones with the finale. And so those, and then she confessed saying, "Oh, we had no idea yet. There was nothing in the works. Like we just made an announcement and nothing had started," which I think is true. Like I don't think they really started. They just wanted to hype people up, but then they never filled in the blank. So I'll say we'll see how that Filoni movie goes for now.
If it actually ends up happening.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But what's confirmed is that Ahsoka show, and we can at least rely on that story to take this little verse forward.
Yeah.
But what I was saying though is that like season 3 has wrapped up nicely if they want to not touch it again until that movie.
Until the movie or after the movie. Although they kind of implied that it would all be done. It would all be ending with the movie.
Right.
But, I mean, regardless, this is a good spot to stop if they decide, like, hey, season 3 didn't do as well as previous seasons, so we're just going to jump to the movie.
Yeah, wrap it up. Which they could. I mean, I would assume Ahsoka would be the lead because she's the bigger character of the collective. And then Din Djarin probably, I'd say, is like the next main character. And then, depending on how the rest of the cast goes, it'll be a fill in the blank. And then, and Bo-Katan, I'm sure she'll be a massive lead as well. And then all he really needs to get his story wrapped up is really the Mythostar part, which is now a conjoined thing between him and Bo.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a whole lot you really need to do with him other than let him be a part of the movie and free roam it. Have the New Republic in and him being a part of that.
Yeah.
Could we see more of Bo? Really? Like just seeing Mandalore rebuilt?
I'd say there's a lot more for her to get done in a film.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, like Sam is, granted, he, at the end of this episode, Din offered, hey, I'll go hunt down Imperials for you. That's cool, but it's very minor, whereas, like, Bo-Katan has the whole, continuing to unite her planet, and then I'm sure that people, once they find out that, Mandalore is livable and they're weak, like, they're going to get invaded by the pirates and the people who take advantage, or maybe more Imperials, like, who knows?
She's running a freaking planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, with, like, 100 people.
Yeah, it's gone from a dome to a planet.
Yeah.
So they have to, like, upgrade massively, bring in some people to be, like, resource for them.
Start to reproduce now.
Yeah, that's it.
Pump out them babies.
And they gotta clean up, clean up the crap, and also, try and get rid of the predators that are above and below ground, like the aliens that are
kaiju.
Yeah, and then the giant monsters that are roaming the exterior. Because they don't have any defense against anything at this point.
And they just lost their massive ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say,
right.
who knows if word has traveled that Mandalore is livable, because there's that whole storm cloud around the planet where they can't even detect life.
Yeah.
That is true. For their sensors. So there's that great defense.
Yeah. Well, for now.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing is eventually, because all those Republic guys are like, oh, thanks, Din, you did the thing for us, so they know.
Mm-hmm.
At bare minimum, that Din went to Mandalore and killed Moff Gideon and wiped him out. So they're news will spread over time. They have some time to prepare,
right?
But you just don't know,
right,
how quickly people will take advantage. The pirates we saw earlier were dead in the season, but other pirates or other people will take advantage. So
Hondo.
Don't start me to that. We're good.
He'll never be a part of it.
Okay, so I agree. I think it's a good breaking point. I'll be honest, though. I was not satisfied with Moth's ending.
I don't know if he's ended.
There's that.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's, weird about it, is just because, there's no body, there's no,
That's the worst.
Where he was standing, everything, it looked fine where he was standing. There's no remains of anything.
And if blasters were bouncing off of his armor, I guarantee he's fire resistant.
Yeah, whatever he's got going on. He got gashed in the neck and was fine by the dark saber. So I'm sure whatever he's doing, he can take on fire resistance and jetpack out of there.
And the other question is, too, do we think that those clones were the only clones that he has? Does he not have more specimens in the tank preparing to be made?
Yeah. And here's what they can do, which is kind of frustrating. They made the death seem almost believable, which means they could do a number of things.
If the clones live.
If the movie is a go and the green light, they could have multiple protagonists like Thrawn and Gideon. If they feel like that's not going to work, they can let Thrawn have his spotlight in the movie or a grander enemy, and then bring him back for season 4 if it gets greenlit. So really, and if all goes horrible, you can just say, yeah, died, and that's the bookend. So they really can do whatever they want with this. And then 3 years from now be like, no, this was like what we decided.
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely made it ambiguous that they can do whatever.
So it's very comical, actually. I like that. But this finale was actually pretty jam-packed with full-on action. We got some...
we didn't even get an intro. Like, from the moment we started, we got action.
We got that hallway scene with the hallway red light, like, whatever you want to call that. That was epic against the guys. R5 getting some action with mouse droids.
Yeah, very action-packed moment.
That was action-packed, I'm sure, for his life, Will.
Yeah.
Don't ruin his moment.
True, sorry.
Yeah, I forgive you. But we had Axe or Ass up in the sky doing absolute shit.
Ass?
I thought they were saying ass, but I think it's Axe.
I cannot imagine
body spray.
Disney named the character Ass.
And then the most hype was really the armor and bow just coming down. There's some really cool like endgame shots. Like they had really good CGI going on for those two characters.
Yeah, them cutting people down or smashing people down.
Oh, the armor! I loved her this episode. Yeah. She was spectacular.
And now they're not even my favorite, but there ain't no chance I'm not going to be hooting and hollering to see a darksaber and a person in a Mandalorian outfit with a hammer come down on a guy with a jetpack. Man, that's some epic stuff you got right there. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, no, it really was solid too, and it was funny because it kind of gave me like, I don't know, Sam, if you'll feel this way about this, but like Knights of the Old Republic, like
cinematics,
the cinematics vibes.
What the hell, Will? That's what I was just about to say.
Well, yeah, it gave me those vibes of like seeing jetpacks and people fighting and just like an intense like. It literally felt like they looked at like either the scene where they're like in the woods. With all the soldiers fighting, or the one where it's like all the Sith versus all the Jedi,
the Jedi Temple.
And there's just from like the over top or wide out shots of people crossing, and getting to see them throw shots and rockets and punches and swords at each other.
I was gonna say that's why the show can be frustrating at times when I feel like the season's not really good, and then they can just do those little things.
A spectacular moment.
Well, they can do those little things that they know get people hyped, like me, that want to see these things in live action on a greater scale. Yeah. And so, I love it. And then I just hate to know that it's been a part of a season that I think is pretty mediocre at best.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go to criticisms yet. We will get into that. Let's finish up the show. This episode.
But that was awesome. It was really cool to see. I'm with you, Adam. The armor doing the. I mean, literally, it just gave me like Thor Infinity War vibes or Endgame vibes. And just like smacking people down. It was so perfect.
I don't know why it feels almost more lethal for a hammer to come down on you rather than a darksaber.
Because a darksaber, you're one and done. A hammer, you're hitting the head.
Yeah.
Right. It's instant. Instant. Instant death versus
brain damage.
A concussed body that falls and hits how many rocks before it actually
then
dies.
You're dead.
Yeah. A lot more brutal.
Yeah. So that's way more brutal.
Yeah.
And she had a hammer and like her little. It was like bullet clampers. Like you pour liquid into them and then you pour it over. That's what she had.
Yeah, that's what she's. Yeah, that's what.
She grabbed that guy by the neck in the other episode.
Yeah, I mean, since season 1, she's been running around smacking dudes in the head with that shit.
Yeah.
So that's funny. Damn. It's like solid Beskar tools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the fight we also got the I wanted to say petroleum guards. What are they called?
Praetorian.
Praetorian guards. Din held up. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Rey and Kylo had to put the work in.
Although they were fighting like 20. It was
True.
like 20v2 versus 1
True.
versus 3. But
yeah,
no, I was genuinely surprised that he would manage. That is funny. But they managed to, or he managed to hold up his own. You know, I mean, granted, Grogu did help a ton.
Yeah.
But even without that, Din had some moves today. He was like stabbing people, cutting their legs, sliding on dudes, flipping them.
Some lethal kills.
Works hard, man.
And then that's where we get to all the ambiguity with where the story's going next, because the thing crashed, our dude burnt, maybe
KIA.
Grogu had that awesome fire moment. That was beautiful. I love it. They even brought the music back from season one.
Yeah,
which was cool. He's on vacation. He's going to be a bounty hunter.
Yeah, so they took.
He's retired.
He's now officially like an apprentice. He's not just like a foundling anymore. So he can go do mission things. But they can't live on Mandalore. They're supposed to go out and like experience the world, like Din or Djarin. I guess that's how you refer to him, as Djarin. How he
maybe it's just like that when you like do ceremonies, you say the last name first sometimes.
Well, they called him Grief Kargas or whatever his name is. Carl Weathers, he referred to him as Din Grogu. You know, so maybe unless he's adopting no, he has to be adopting his family name. So Din is his family name, I guess.
All right,
Very interesting that it comes first.
There we go. That's what it is, Din Grogu.
Which is just weird because no one else does that. It's
right.
like Sabine Wren, Bo-Katan Kryze,
Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But it doesn't have to be like they're all different species, cultures.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the Mandalorians, Bo-Katan Kryze, Paz Vizsla. What's the pre-Vizsla?
Yeah.
Kid Vizsla. You know.
I think we're just used to having
Boba Fett.
multiple chunks be a part of the latter half of our names, and the first half because Will, Sam, Adam. I could be Samuel with a. Let's say Adam's my last name, Samuel Adam, but it sounds better to just say Sam.
Adam.
Whatever you want to have, multiple chunks. I'm not trying to dox our last names.
But people have normal, like, small last names, like Lee.
Sam Johnson.
Sam
Johnson,
Lee.
not Johnson Sam. Like, that sounds weird.
Well, yeah, sometimes when you...
What was that?
Like, when you fill out, like, medical paperwork, sometimes you have to put your last name first, then it's your first name and a middle initial.
Right. It's weird.
It's very weird.
Just Grogu.
Right,
Yoda never had
Grogu.
an extra name.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
He got adopted.
Yeah, that's why I said it doesn't matter.
Din.
Ignore us. Thank the Lord he's a part of a family now.
Thank him. Just thank Dave Filoni, whatever his name is. Filoni. Dave Favreau.
Man, Dave Macaroni's really awesome.
Dave Baloney.
Love that. Do you like bologna?
Yeah.
I don't like bologna.
It's okay. Not the best meat. But
Yeah.
I like macaroni. Cold and warm.
Macaroni.
Mom
spaghetti.
Weezneek. Damn it, there's the dyslexia. Knees weak. Weezneek. Son of a bitch. Moving on, I'm more excited for Bo's stuff. She's got this place that she's going to be trying to construct. The heart of Erebor is on fire and lit, and we cheered for her.
Instead, we don't have a smile, but we have
a monster, a
mythosaur.
kaiju,
a mythosaur.
Oh, we have a mythosaur. Yeah.
I'm hyped for that. Once again, the ambiguity, nothing concrete. There was no interaction within the season. You were right. It did not show back up in the season, really, if we're being fair.
Yeah.
But it could, either in the movie, or if they ever continue with the show several years from now.
I'm sorry, what are you talking about?
The mythosaur.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What they end up doing with it.
Yeah.
Or they just don't.
Yeah.
They just leave it
remains
as
a legend.
Ironically, the myth
Remains a myth.
Yeah. I mean, they wrote that in the name. They wrote that in the
They
name.
did.
I feel like that's pretty intentional. It can't be a mythosaur once you see it. It's just a sword. It's just a sword. I didn't make the rules. They made the rules, guys.
Yeah.
But that's season 3.
Yay.
I can't. My arms are so skinny. It hurts. Just like banging bone. He's got muscle. You've got extra skin. Bone. You hear the crack from Minecraft.
Oh gosh.
So, what are our thoughts? Season 3.
Pretty not great.
Like I said,
underwhelming.
Mediocre
Yeah.
at best.
Underwhelming. Very unfortunate.
Mediocre. at
Seems
best.
like it was more so focused on cameos
Can
than
you pull up Disney Plus again?
Sure.
more focused on cameos than story.
I mean, I wouldn't even say that. I just feel like the story was just not there.
So,
Yeah.
we started pretty okay. We had the cool like whale reveal, and then we went to the planet with Grief Kargas and the IG-11 thing.
You also went to.
Pirates,
Did they go to Bo at the end of that episode
and
too?
then Bo at the castle.
She said fuck off.
This was somewhat cool. We had like the not Grievous,
Yeah.
Yes.
the white apes.
Being on Mandalore, Bo saving him, using the Darksaber.
Going down that tunnel 5 times.
Yeah.
And the Mythosaur at the end, yep. The convert? What was
Convert.
That was when her place got sacked, and then it was all about Coruscant.
Right,
Yeah.
the spin-off episode. Actually, I liked that one, but we'll talk about that one a bit.
It's very misplaced.
4th was the chicken episode, the 3 chickens and the mama hen, and
Yes.
then
Yeah.
Jar Jar returns with a Jedi
Oh, the flashback.
character.
Yeah.
Pirate, this was...
Shootout on Navarro.
Yeah, this was pretty much just the big pirate blowout.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Black and Lizzo episode, not to mention Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Spies, the best episode so far,
Yeah.
up to that point. And then, the one we just watched.
Okay, I feel like this show like suffers from the when it's done in every single season that just like not important episodes or like the ones that are so minuscule that they just don't really seem to
Do anything.
they add like very little character development or like this is the new thing now. You know what I mean? Like I think of like the spider episode in season 2. I think about like the the village that they defend in season 1. Even like the prisoner too.
See,
from
but like
season 1.
that introduces characters that could easily come back
Yeah,
and do something.
yeah, but but even still, it's like to what end? I mean, we didn't really expect Bill Burr to ever come back. You know what I mean? Like when he came back in season 2 and they went for him, I had no idea that would actually happen. I mean, like I figured like half these guys are just gonna be dead or locked up, and we just would never deal with them again.
Yeah, so we're looking at the season 1 thumbnails real quick,
Yeah.
but just for perspective, I feel like in these 8 episodes, you can say 1 through 3 is plot for
Yeah.
me. Even though there's the Rhino bit and like, getting all the resources, those 3 are the main plot because you're focusing on the relationship between Din Djarin and the baby, and then he gets his armor. You could say 4, 5, and 6 are their own little spin-offs, though you do get Cara Dune as a character who will play a prominent role in the 2nd season.
And Bill Burr. And Fennec Shand.
Yeah, Fennec Shand gets introduced in episode 5, and she does play a whole big role in Star Wars so far in the Disney world. And then Bill Burr, who will return. And then the last 2 are
Big
story.
bang, yeah.
It returns to the story.
Season 1's probably like the most non-filler of the seasons.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Season 2 is where it starts to hit, and like they make a lot of areas all over the place. You get the episode that introduces Timothy Olyphant, Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Episode 2 does get us introduced to our rebel friend. Like, I think this is the first time the rebel friend makes his appearance, or like they meet up. Right? The guy with the white beard.
He appears in the season 1, but they
Oh.
don't actually. I feel like they don't actually meet each other until this season.
Okay, I just know he shows up on patrol, and that's when they have their first talk to each other in episode 2.
Maybe
I thought it was this one.
No,
When
3?
he gets trapped in the ice.
That's 2. That's 2.
Oh,
Don't
2
let the
is-
thumbnail deceive you. 2
Yeah,
is the
2 is
spider
the one.
episode.
Yeah.
3 is the water planet, and this is when we meet
Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan.
Yep.
Still good in terms of overall story. We return to this place, still story, because it's relevant to the cloning in episode 4. Once again, Cara and Grief playing a role in the overall story.
Possible Snoke stuff.
Possible Snoke stuff, and then we got
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. I mean, That
Banger
goes without
episode.
saying.
Ahsoka, Thrawn, all that.
Tragedy is the return of Boba Fett, so story for stuff that people might not like, but it's still the overall, this universe. And Believer, Bill
Is that
Burr.
the Bill
That's
Burr?
the Bill
Bill
Burr
Burr
episode.
episode.
Some more moments with his mask off, and then the finale
it's
with Luke. This is when things get a little dicey because they ended up realizing they probably made a mistake setting Grogu off. We had the Boba Fett show that is
Yeah,
We'll
Mandalorian.
talk about.
But that's the thing that's like frustrating with this is like season 3. I feel like season 2 ended, and like again, season 2 felt like the way it ended was a good way to be like that's the end of Grogu's story. This can be the Mandalorian story, and then we're done. And then they end up going in like Boba Fett, almost retconning everything they did, and then coming to this season where it's like we already got the backstory of what Din needs to do in Boba but because Boba was so bad and people didn't watch it, Chapter 1 basically had to like reestablish all the things for the people that didn't watch. Like, just think about that for a second. When in Marvel have they ever done that? Even their movies that are the worst movies, they don't ever go back and like reestablish things. Like, hey, just in case you didn't watch Ant-Man, this is what the quantum well, okay, they'll do
Loki.
like a oh, that's fair. Loki's the only one, but in general, over a decade of films and movies, they never went back and did that. Where in this, it was like people literally didn't watch this, and we made the dumb choice of putting like the 2 best episodes or the one best episode. Like that episode almost is better than any of the other Mandalorian episodes we got in this season. Like the one that was just focused on him and Boba Fett. Like that could have been episode 1 of this, and then we wouldn't have had to like relive everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think this season have come off with like a lot of filler and like lackluster stories, even more so than the previous seasons. And in the previous seasons, I felt like they relied on the cameos and the Easter eggs and the bringing back of previous characters to make it interesting. You know, whether it's Luke, Ahsoka, Bill Burr, Snoke, cloning, all this stuff. They made it interesting, whereas like this, they didn't rely on that at all. And it just shows because half the episodes when they don't do it, it's just like boring.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm not really interested in like the foundlings and stuff.
It's also, there's barely any faces to attach yourself.
We brought that up.
We purely have Bo-Katan.
There's no emotion.
Bo-Katan to be our leading factor, and random spies for the Imperials on the spin-off section of the show.
Yeah. You gotta take the helmets off.
It's just so...
Every once in a while.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's weird. It's like, why did they spend... Again, and it just feels like a retcon of what they ended season 2 with. Because it's like, we had all of this progression of setting up, like, you can't take off the mask, and then Din getting to a place where he can take off the mask. He shows this emotion and, like, and does and grows as a person.
And then he goes right back on.
And then he just goes right back into it. So.
And then they give the story a reason for Bo to be able to remove it, and friendship to still remain. Where Din, it's like spite.
Yeah.
Or resentment, or like something is bad about him if he does it, but she's fine to do it.
And here's the thing that's interesting too. This is outside of the show itself, but talking about Pedro Pascal, because you've heard that Pedro wants, like, this is his thing for life. Like, he would want to do this.
I don't know. It could be an old tweet too. It could be an old message. I don't know.
It could be old, but from
The Last of Us.
Well, from hearing from other people that have kept up with more like entertainment news, if I'm wrong about this, you can correct in the comments, but like apparently, and I didn't know this, but this was news when season 2 came out, that Pedro wasn't super happy with not being like as like season 1 they did it and it was him in the suit the whole time.
Right.
Season 2 he wasn't in the suit as much. It was a lot of stuntmen. It was like 50-50. And he, you know, I guess wasn't super happy with not showing his face. Again, this could be just internet gossip that's just not true, rumors, but season 3, apparently he doesn't act in the suit at all. Everything is voice. Which is what Sam assumed just based on like the body movement and everything. Like, it doesn't even seem like it was the same stunt guys from the previous season.
I felt like it was a different
Damn,
guy.
you picked up on that.
I said it in the show.
And yeah, Sam said it in like the 3rd episode of the season.
Early.
And I agree, like, you can tell by some of the movements and the way that he acts. Like, if you put, like, season 1's body versus season 3, it's like they don't move the same. There's not the same type of, like, body acting he's doing.
That's crazy.
But anyways, it's just like, you had the opportunity to put his face in it more. And granted, there's probably behind-the-scenes stuff, like we've talked about with maybe The Last of Us and the movies. That's like Pedro's a big actor. He's doing a lot of other things. Maybe there's stuff that he couldn't maybe they were like, hey,
you seem pretty busy. How about you just do the voice?
Yeah, or hey, like honestly, we really don't think it's going to be a thing where we want your face in it as much anymore. And he's like, well, fine, I won't make time for it, and I'll go do other things, and I'll just record the voice lines over like a 1 week span, and we can just get it done with,
Right. Yeah.
So like,
he doesn't talk that much. This isn't like an anime where like you rely on the voice actor to carry the show. I mean, he's pretty introverted, which just makes. I mean, when I went to get bits for his voice, just for the little intro we had for the first episode, it's just a bunch of like, yeah, you're right. Come on, Grogu. Dodge the bullet. Like, it's a lot of like single sections. There's no like monologues for the character.
Mm-hmm. Not like when he had like Riz last episode and he gave like his like poetic like, I will serve you to the end of my time. Like, that's the most I felt like he ever spoke was in that moment. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of it could just be fucking people on the internet making up stories or assuming or reading into like the rumors and the gossip. But it just feels like it's not really. It just feels like the main character isn't even really bought into the story, or that they don't necessarily want him to be like in it like that. And I think that's one thing that's hard for me in a show. It's hard to watch a story where you don't really.
There's no face.
No face, but also there's no like draw in for characters. Like, there isn't a character in the show that I'm like, I am really attached to.
Well, there's also nothing worse than knowing that like the main actor might not be super on board with his own project. That's like The Witcher for us. Like when Henry Cavill's like backing out, I want to back out too. Like it's not fun when the people who are a part of it like start to not feel like the because they're the reason like you get attached to them. It builds this like reserve to not want to jump into a show if you feel like the people who are a part of it won't even be a part of it. You already have that problem when you kill off characters in like Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. But when it happens and it feels like a little bit more personal and real, it's like, ooh.
Well, and it's also like Game of Thrones and shows like that, whether it's like, like Breaking Bad, Sopranos, whatever, like these are characters that have a lot of depth to them where it's like, this is almost a real person that I'm like connecting to and understanding.
Exactly.
When it's like with these people, there really isn't much going on. I mean, in this season, Bo-Katan is the one that we can understand and feel what's going through her head more than anybody, because we saw her like progression from episode 1 being like, I'm done. This ruling thing isn't for me. I'm a horrible leader. I failed tremendously in the past and the present. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. To her, like, taking not taking what is owed to her, but she's, like, taking up the mantle that she should because there isn't another leader around. And so she's the one that's, like, progressing and changing in herself.
She's learning.
Yeah. She's trying to be like a better person, better leader, a better version of herself. And so like she's the only one in this show that we can really connect to. It's not a bad thing that we only connect to her person, like specifically. Yeah. It's just the fact that the rest of the characters, like we talked about the armorer, dry, don't know anything about you. You're not really involved. To the point where people, and it wasn't just us that were sussing her, or like rather me and Adam. There are other people that were sussing her online of being, a spy or disloyal to the Mandalorians just because she doesn't fucking speak.
Yeah.
And she doesn't say much more than this is the way, or like, no, you can't do that, or you have to do this.
Right.
And Din, same thing. He only gives like action command type of dialogue, so,
Yeah. I think I figured out where my ultimate beef is with the show. It's more of an annoyance with myself to realize so late in the game what my ultimate problem is, and it does technically stem since the show's birth, in all fairness, so it's more on me for taking so long. I think it's just the style in which this show functions just as a whole, because when you have things like just really high expectations because TV is so good, when you have things like Stranger Things, and you have shows like Game of Thrones, or things that are on that level. No, not Lord of the Rings. Not the Lord of the Rings.
Not Rings of Power.
When you have really good premium shows like that, you can tune in knowing that you're going to be seeing at least forms of a pattern, like things that you can expect, or when they go into it that you're going to get good stuff. Where this feels like everything's loose. If we need to change things, we can. If we want to bring on new things, we can. We can switch it up every other day. It's a little, it's loose. I mean,
it's up in the air.
Yeah, it's up in the air. If this season doesn't go well and people hate Grogu, we'll get him out of here. If people don't like Din and Bo's awesome, she'll be our main character. And it feels like there's no solid stuff that you're sticking around for.
Yeah.
Which is really, I don't like that. Because I was thinking about like what you're saying, and you're talking about Bo. I'm just like, I guess we should be talking about Bo, but this is like not the thing that I would be expecting had I been tuning into this season. Like, she's a big role in this season, and my mind hasn't been wanting to go there because that's not what I've been expecting from this show.
Yep.
But I guess for the people that really like Bo, they've already tuned in and they're fine. They've checked out and they go with the flow of whatever the show is. But I'm just like, that's not what I really wanted coming into this. And that I would say that's fine. That's my own choice.
Yeah, I think one thing that's kind of weird too, kind of piggybacking off what you're saying, it's weird that they decided to go and make this show about a completely brand new character that the audience had never been introduced to before, just to then make the show about someone we already knew about.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Like, why would you go in and, like, write, like, a DC movie storyline and create a new superhero that, like, the audience is going to have to grow? Like, you have to design them, you have to pick the right actor, you have to go through and figure out who this character is and what their story is, and then ultimately it's just Batman's story. Yeah. And it's like, well, that's cool, I guess, but I don't know, because...
Well, they technically did that with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
They teased Joker, and it was Enchantress.
Yeah.
Who we know nothing about.
Yeah. But like that's like the opposite, where it's like they were going with the main character, and then they picked a nobody. But they didn't tease anything. They picked a nobody and decided to make it a character, which is fine. Like, I like experiencing new character stories. I don't necessarily want someone to recreate, like, let's make 9,000 hours of Obi-Wan stories. I love Obi-Wan, but, like, yeah, it's nice to see a new face and find a new part of the galaxy we've never seen before, a new part of whatever story you're writing. But then to double back and just kind of, like, go and just, like, oh, it's about Luke, oh, it's about Bo-Katan, oh, it's about Ahsoka. And then it's like, well, what about Din? Like, why, you know what I mean? Like, what is going on with him at this point?
That's what I mean about, like, the looseness. Like, the reason I had brought it up and why I remembered what I was going to continue with Bo-Katan. Like, I would be interested. Like, I really, truly would be interested to continue with her story. But because of how the show operates, I'm like, do I bother committing to wanting to be interested if I feel like they're going to do it again and choose a different, more interesting Mandalorian?
Yeah.
If you're
because I was thinking, like, I would be interested. I've always wanted a live action version of her. I always wanted Cate Blanchett to play her sister who died if they ever did a flashback. And I'm thinking, well, we're never going to get great actors like that when the shows are so sloppy like this. Because what big actors are going to want to commit when the show's already so sloppy? That's why we got, no offense to Jack Black and Lizzo, but that's why we got Jack Black and Lizzo. They're very well known. But there's nothing serious about them. No. There's nothing serious about what's his name? Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah, Christopher.
I mean, these are not like... And they spend time with these, like, random C-listers, the Rebel guy and the spies. And they're beelining Din Djarin and Pedro Pascal. So it's like, there's no real anchors in the show, and we're never going to get them because of the way the show operates.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. I don't want to be stuck with all these randoms. I liked when we had Bill Burr. Honestly, I liked when Boba Fett was in it. Not when we gave him his own thing, but when he operated in this story. When Fennec Shan was a part of this.
Yeah.
And the problem is, they introduce cool characters, then it becomes this looseness. Well, maybe we'll do a Bill Burr spinoff. Maybe we'll do this
we'll go do Cara Dune show.
It's I don't want a Cara Dune show. I don't want a Gideon show.
Just keep them all in the same show.
Keep them all in the same fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, if we could... if we could go back and if we could turn back time, I would still keep Ahsoka in the show, but maybe not call it The Mandalorian. If they had known, like, from the start that call it something that can be more loose, so we could have Luke in it in intervals, have Ahsoka in it in intervals. But it feels freaking weird to call it The Mandalorian and then do all this big, crazy stuff while having the most underdog of like randoms to lead it.
Yeah.
And then for him to not even be the main, it's just it's a cluster. And I'm annoyed at myself for realizing how big of a cluster it is so late. And I think season 3 has really awakened that realization for me.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say you made an excellent point about Bo is the character that we are emotionally attached to.
Yeah,
that's an excellent point.
Sure.
Yeah, and the other thing too.
And I'm with you, and I don't really want that.
Or it felt so disguised.
Yeah.
Like not that
I really just care about Din.
Not that it felt disguised because it was obvious, but I almost like in my heart I'm like, I ain't about this because this feels like it's weird from what I began with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you guys need to understand, I do like Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I do too.
So get that part out of your mind.
Yeah.
It's the way in which they're doing it that feels disrespectful to the characters we already know.
Yeah.
To prioritize other things.
Somebody was already typing that comment that you hate Bo-Katan. Now that you said it, they're deleting it.
Oh, they probably started that as soon as the criticism began.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. It's like Bo-Katan was the most relatable character, and that's it's a good thing that she's a relatable character. It would be bad if like the only face. And it would be bad if we had no relatable characters. But she was the one, but she wasn't the main character. And so it's just like, why isn't the main character written in that way? But it's fine that we at least get one. Like, I mean, that's the plus. Is like, hey, we got something to care about throughout the season. Because even still, when you're talking about the episode, you're like, I almost am more interested in the Bo-Katan story than seeing what happens in Din and Grogu.
I am.
Which is like cool. I almost wish that going back to when they started the show, that they would have like framed it as like not necessarily an anthology, but every season would be about a different Mandalorian.
Like Star Wars Vision, but per season.
Yeah, and it would be this is Din Djarin's story.
And canon.
Next is Bo.
Yeah, and canon.
Or Boba, then Bo.
Yeah, that would have been cool if they did it
exactly.
like that. Yeah, that would have been perfect.
So we could know what we're tuning for.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I just don't like being tricked when I jump into things.
Yeah.
And I want to specify, the reason I've been bringing up Game of Thrones a lot too is because that show does trick you too.
Yeah.
But there's
trick.
still patterns in what you get.
Mm-hmm.
So you can know that you might not be tuning in for this character to be the main character. And there's also several main characters as soon as the show begins.
Yeah.
So you know that just because this guy's out of the equation, you can be with this girl and that guy later on. So I think I'm a little... I don't know if that's unfair criticism, because this is just a Star Wars show. So, I like, you never fully tune into Star Wars to get
the
S-tier
greatest
stuff.
story of all time, yeah.
The problem is, I'm an S-tier hardcore fanatic, so I want the best premium quality for the stuff I love.
Yeah.
Just haven't ever really got it since Empire Strikes Back.
It's never been there. It's literally never
Damn! That's like 4 decades ago. Damn!
I didn't say it, the show did.
Yeah.
I mean, I did say it, but...
Yeah, I was like, no, you said that.
Bro, that's before you.
It was before, long before. Yeah, but... I already have my 3 favorite episodes. I already have my 3 characters.
I honestly don't even know if I can give this 3.
I'll do episodes first, because that's what I'm confident on.
Okay.
3rd favorite episode is Jack Black and Lizzo.
Okay.
So, what is that called? Guns for Hire. 2nd best episode, Spies. 1st is the finale. My favorite episode is probably the finale, so the last 3 episodes are my top. And I do want to do an honorable mention. No, I'm not. I'll do it for my favorite moment later.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay, 3rd favorite for me was Minds of Mandalore.
Yeah.
2nd was Spies. The final is number 1.
Damn it,
finale
Will.
is number 1.
Mine's the exact same as Will's.
Okay.
I had so much fun theorizing that Grievous was coming back. That was a lot of fun. That was so cool.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, it could still be up in the air. We don't know.
Everything is.
Literally everything in the show.
Yeah.
Up for interpretation.
I just feel like this first episode shouldn't fucking exist.
You're right.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't have existed.
It ruined everything.
The Book of Boba Fett show, that episode should have been the premiere.
Yeah.
As we said that day,
we did.
Will was sick or whatever, and it was you and me, I said, this is a great episode. This should have been the premiere, and they should have taken out the part where he returns to Boba Fett.
And guess what? And guess what? It ended up basically being the premiere minus all the cool stuff because all the major plot points we need to get from that we got in that first episode. What the fuck? 3 favorite characters.
This is gonna be the most botched set of characters I've ever put on a top 3 list.
Yeah.
Grogu, Din, Bo-Katan.
Nice. Sam? That's actually a really good, like a good solid answer. I just know Sam's is gonna be stupid.
Chicken 1, chicken 2.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I liked the Imperial girl, the spy that got introduced. I really wish there was more of her in the show. I will put her at number 3. I did like her.
Yeah, me too.
I thought she was promising, and I'm a little disappointed they didn't bring her back.
It's a story that I'm interested in.
I just wish we had more time with other characters. I mean, probably I just Bo-Katan and Din after that. Like, I don't know.
Honestly,
I was gonna meme, but in truth, it's probably the spy and then those 2.
Yeah, I'm changing mine. It's Grogu, the Imperial girl, Bo.
Yeah. Din reduced.
Yep.
Yeah. Mine is the Imperial girl, Moff Gideon, and Bo-Katan.
See, and I wanted to put Moff, but I'm like...
But he wasn't even in this a whole lot.
The dude just strolls up and does his thing and then bails so quickly. And that's why it sucks.
Yeah.
That's why it just sucks. When you feel like you can't even put Din in the top.
I know.
Who's
the main character?
Or you do it out of pity.
Yeah.
Now, honorable mentions. There are quite a lot of honorable mentions for me in terms of like moments. I did like specific things here and there. Like I loved
Moss guy.
I loved Ahmed Best.
Yes.
Returning as a Jedi.
Yeah.
I really, once again, a great moment that I wish we got more on to spend some flashback time. I really did like the spy and rebel thing, kind of making it gray territory as to how the transition happened. Really cool idea. Once again, I don't know if the Mandalorian. Yeah, I don't know if the Mandalorian's the proper show to be doing that. That's more of like an Andor type of like,
or like you said,
thematic thing.
A Star Wars Visions kind of show where you can have those kind of crazy, all over the place stories.
Right.
I feel like it's perfect for it.
Like I don't know where I'd place it. In truth. So that's like another honorable mention. The Mythosaur was really cool to see in the few seconds we got it.
I'm with Will now. We only saw its fucking head.
I did. I mean, that is the truth. You know?
When we first saw it, it was like I nearly shit my pants, and now this is like, come on.
Yeah.
And then any other honorable mentions to throw up that you did enjoy?
Seeing a battle droid full on sprint.
That was cool.
Was
cool.
cool.
The droid stuff was cool.
Yeah.
And seeing Elizabeth
the
Jack Black
hunter
is funny. It just feels. It's just. You didn't get your thoughts.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I mean, like I thought the episode was like kind of silly and like a little stupid, but I did enjoy it. Like this, I was in the moment. I'm like, this is fucking annoying, but also I think this is kind of hilarious. It just doesn't feel like it should be in the show.
Here's why it's annoying. It feels like an insult to injury. The episode could have been amazing if it was a good season leading up to this.
Oh, yeah.
It was the worst season of one of the shows I've ever watched, and then that was the final kiss to a really bad injury instead of getting medication needed.
Yeah.
It's also why it's on my list. It was entertaining. It was fun to see them.
Yeah.
Despite the horrible acting.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of fun with the droid side plot that ended up going nowhere.
Yeah.
But that's what we're working with, I feel, for the show, where that's the things I'm like, that was good.
Droids have their own bar they go to.
Yeah, they do.
That's cool.
That's insane.
No humans allowed.
And that Undercity was beautiful. And I liked seeing the B2 droid too, even though I think people memed it online. I liked it. I did.
Yeah.
And it was nice to hear the B1 droid from the Clone Wars voice.
Yeah.
It's my Roger, one of my favorite droids.
Roger.
And then, of course, the last 2 episodes, there's just a lot of it's honorable mention because it's just really good episodes, actually.
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I can think of that you didn't mention was it's so stupid, but I love that, like, little speech that Din gave to Bo at the end. Where he's like...
Oh, I like the very end.
He's like, I don't care about... Can we just pull it up and play? Because I want to hear it. I don't want to mess it up and misquote it here. This is the part. This honestly, I might pick this as my favorite moment, but
I only know of this weapon what you taught me. To be honest, it means nothing to me or my people, nor does station or bloodline. What means more to me is honor, and loyalty, and character. These are the reasons I serve you, Lady Kreese. Your song is not yet written. I will serve you until it is.
Like, I don't know. Like, that's it. But, like, that was probably, like, one of the best lines I feel like they've ever dropped in the show. Like, it just felt very poetic,
I think this was also the episode that I was like, okay, I will get on board with Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
As long as I can feel reassured that I'm not going to get screwed.
You're not going to get, like, random
character.
like, Axe. It's going to be actually about Axe, because Bo-Katan.
Mandalorian, season 4 through 6.
But yeah, I'll say this is my honorable mention for a moment, and then my favorite moment was Grogu pushing off the fire. That was beautiful.
Right, that was sick.
And like a good wrap up of him doing it prior.
My favorite moment is the troopers and the Mandalorians.
Oh yeah, flying past each other.
Yeah.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, I said mine. I had a bunch of randoms. So, damn. Yeah, I wish there was more I could say. I think there's really nothing else to say really on season 3 as a whole. Ahsoka show will be the next thing that comes out, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully, it picks up and has a better trajectory going towards this potential movie. And honestly, I would like to have, if I had to give a choice, I would like to have a season 4 before the movie, just to kind of feel more sturdy in my feelings before going into it. And I don't want to be like bitter going into the movie, knowing how we left off with the plot. I want more concrete, but who am I in the world of Star Wars fans?
Yeah.
Any other thoughts before we wrap up?
I'm good.
Adam, take us away.
Guys, if you like this video, leave a like, hit the subscription button, notification bell. Rate the show 1 to 10, 1 being atrocious, 10 to being spectacular, to infinity and beyond. We'll see you in the next one. Punch
Love
it.
ya.
Bow!
We didn't give a number rating, but if I was to give it, this would be in total 4.
Yeah.